Celtics are now down 0-3.
Skip, at some point in time, we just have to come to the realization and say it's not what the one team isn't doing, it's what the other team is doing.
All right.
Maybe the Heat are just better. I believe they are. Do I believe they're 30 points better? No, I don't. But, Skip, you can't – this is not – in football, Skip, you can say what happened to a team when they lose to a team that's a lesser tier. But it's hard for a team that's not better than another team to continuously beat said team. It's not like they are a walk-off or a buzzer beater. Skip, they're beating them. The Celtics in games 1 and 2 had double-digit leads. The Heat walk them down, and at one point, they have a double-digit lead. They end up winning both of those games. Yesterday was a complete demolition. It wasn't even close. And when you get Skip, Caleb Martin, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, they scored 69. They shot 25 of 36.
Yep.
You get 3 role players going 25 of 36. How the hell you think you're going to beat them? Gabe Vincent outscored Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum all by himself. Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum has been no-shows in this series. And it's easy to blame a first-year coach, Skip, but nobody blamed Joe Mazzulla when they went to Milwaukee and beat them by 40. No one blamed Joe Mazzulla when they had the number 2 seed. Now, all of a sudden, Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, your 2 big horses aren't running. Now it's Joe Mazzulla's fault. Oh, Jaylen Brown, he's biting his tongue. Well, he biting the rim, too, because he clanking. He and, what were they yesterday? 1 for 14 on threes. Skip, did you know they're shooting a combined 7 of 40 on three-point shots?
I do.
They have a combined 21 turnovers. I mean, 21 assists.
Yeah.
23 turnovers.
That's
how you going to win when your 2 best players are playing like trash? It is what it is now, Skip. It's not what the Celtics aren't doing. The Heat are just playing better. They're just better. And it's easy to see, Skip, when you play a series, 4 out of 7, 3 out of 5, you're not going to get the fluky win, the buzzer beater shot.
Yep.
Not 3 times. Skip, if you got a 13-point lead, the team chase you down, you're like, okay, we make a few corrections, we'll be okay.
Yep.
You get another 13-point lead, they chase you down.
Yep.
You're like, well, this is that. Now you go to their place, they have a 33-point lead. What are you going to say now? Well, we didn't, I don't know, the coach said he didn't have us ready to play. They broke your spirit to compete. You were ready to play, but you come out turning the ball over, and then they broke your will because they made shot after shot. You let a team shoot 57% from the floor and 54% from the 3, you lose it. Skip, I've never seen this in my life.
Yep.
Miami Heat had 1 offensive rebound. The Boston Celtics had 21 offensive rebounds. Let me get it right.
Yeah, look at your total rebound.
It tied the largest offensive rebound differential, plus 20, in a playoff loss in NBA history. That's all you need to know.
Okay, 57 rebounds for the losing team, 35 rebounds for the winning team at home when Pat Riley is famed for saying no rebounds, no rings. Go ahead.
But here's the thing, though, Skip. Miami Heat can't get no rebound because they shots coming going in the rim. They going in the basket. See, Boston getting all the rebounds because they clanking.
Okay, and then what do they do with the offensive rebound? They clank again. No, they clank again. They just keep clanking. Okay, I'm going to amplify your point, and then you can go on. I just added this up. Would you believe for the game, the Boston Celtics missed 59 shots? It's a lot of shots to miss. Would you believe for the game, Miami only missed 35 shots?
Yes.
So it's 59 misses to 35 misses, which completely cancels out the rebounding avalanche that was won by the visiting team.
57 to 34, 57 to 35. So you lost. You won the rebound margin by 22, and you lost the game by 102.
Yep. So
that tells you everything, Skip. At this point now, it's not about what Boston isn't doing. Miami just better.
Okay. Allow me to say that I have first guessed this all year long because I kept telling you again and again and again, something is missing in this team all year long. When they lost 3 home games to Orlando, I'm sorry, 2 home games to Orlando and lost to Orlando 3 times, I said, gee, that doesn't feel right. They lost 3 to Cleveland, not a shame. 3 to the Knicks, not shameful, but they also lost at Washington, then they lost at Houston, and they would be more misses than, more hits than misses.
Correct.
But still, in the big picture, I kept saying, this doesn't feel like last year. I first guessed they're going to lose something when you change head coaches on the fly to the guy who established a new culture there, and Ime Udoka is now down in Houston.
Yep.
But you have a rookie first-year head coach, and it hasn't ever seemed the same. And I'm with you. You can't condemn him and put all the blame, heap all the blame on him. I'll get to him in just a second. But it's felt different with him all year long. From jump, it felt different.
Okay.
Is that his fault? Well, he got thrust into a situation where, gee, they were in the finals last year and they lost in 6 games to Golden State. And everybody said, well, maybe Golden State was just a little better. But Boston felt like it was on the verge.
Right.
And I kept saying, show me verge. I'm not sure about this. You like Milwaukee, you like Boston, Milwaukee. Everybody did. Everybody liked Milwaukee and Boston. We're talking about the 8 seed here. We're talking about a team that barely kept its head above 500 all year and lost its first play-in game at home to Atlanta.
Yep.
It lost to Atlanta. It was within 3 minutes against the Chicago Bulls of getting eliminated. Now what? Well, what has happened is
they caught fire.
Yeah, they caught incredible fire. And yet, to your point, the 2 best players on the floor are what you call the law firm. Mm-hmm. And the law firm should get sued for fraud.
Yeah, it is.
Because they are fraudulent right now because they stink every game, but especially last night. Shannon,
35.
Shannon, this is it. This is your basic. This is a win or else. And it's not quite over because there's another game. And would it shock me if Boston won the 4th game? It wouldn't shock me, but I'll get to that in a moment. But my point is that this was the game that if you win it, you kind of get back on track and you start to feel like, okay, maybe we can rinse and repeat and we could go home 2-2 and maybe we got something going here. Instead, I loved what our man Kenny Smith said last night late on Inside the NBA. He said that in all of his years of watching game 3s when you're down 0-2, they played game 3 like it was a game 4 where you're just defeated, where you just quit, where you feel like you're overmatched. And so many times the team gets swept because it's demoralized and it's crushed and it's psychologically obliterated to the point that you just throw up your hands and say, they're just too good.
Yes.
Well, that looked like what happened last night because...
And you could understand, Skip, they rated 3. Gabe Vincent is taking James Harden's sidestep, step back 3. Caleb Martin. Skip, what am I supposed to do with that?
Okay, so in the second quarter, it felt like the home team was starting to cool off, and at least they cut it back to 15. And I immediately tweeted at halftime, now we find out what these Boston Celtics are made of. Because this is the time in the third quarter, Shannon, where you scratch and claw with all your might. Whatever breath you got left in your lungs, you heave it because this is it. This is a win or else. And look what happened in the third quarter. They lost 32-17. They scored 17 points in the third quarter. Guess why? Because Jaylen Brown went 0 for 3 and Jayson Tatum went 0 for 4. Well, you can't. This is it. This is your chance to make your run here. And instead, obviously, they fall behind by 33 points in the third quarter of a win or else game.
And basically, it's over.
Okay, basically, it's over because Joe Mazzulla yanked everybody and didn't even play his stars in the fourth quarter, which I was fine with.
Right.
Okay, so in the biggest picture, to your point, I'm looking at what is happening here in this series. And obviously, Jimmy Butler, you haven't been the biggest fan of his. I'm sold. He is a playoff superstar.
Yes.
Because I've never seen a single player where the whole team is so dependent on him. But his role players are like stars to him because he treats them like stars.
Yeah.
He has implicit trust in everybody out there on the floor. And Shannon, I'm going to remind everybody, they lost a 6th man of the year in Tyler Hero. They lost a Victor Oladipo, who has been an all-star in this league and who was a valuable cog in their rotation. Now it sounds like they've lost Kevin Love. He was gone for the whole second half after he'd made 2 of his first 3 shots.
Right.
And again, is he a big factor in this? What is he, 6'10"?
6'10",
I mean, at least he gives you some.
He gives you rebounding.
Yeah, he's a double-double machine in his glory days.
Right.
But my point is, it sounds like he couldn't play in the second half. Shannon, they're down to 6 or 7 guys, right?
Right.
But look at what those 6 or 7 guys are doing, because right here, right now, I'm here to tell you, Caleb Martin in these 3 games has made 10 out of 21 threes. Well, that's 48%. You mentioned Gabe Vincent. He's made 10 out of 18 threes in these 3 games. That's 56%. Duncan Robinson has come back alive.
Yes.
Come back from the quote-unquote dead at the end of the bench. And he's healthy now, and he's made 8 of 15 threes. That's 53%. And Kyle Lowry's made 40% of his threes. And Strus has made 7 of 18. Not great, but it's 39%, which on most teams would be pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. And Jimmy orchestrates in ways I've never seen anybody orchestrate, because it's not like he's a great passer as in LeBron or Magic or Stockton, where he'll make 2 or 3 passes a night. You say, wow, where did that come from? He doesn't do that. He just orchestrates because they can't keep him out of their lane.
Right.
Or as I said Friday, their kitchen.
Right.
Or let's do Fox in the hen house.
Right.
Because he gets in the hen house whenever he wants to, and he is a fox.
Well, when they let him in the kitchen, he starts cooking. He makes any dish he wants. I'm going to get the and one. You're going to foul me and put it on the free throw line, or I'm going to dish it out to one of my 3-point shooters, and they're going to bang your eyes out. So what do you want me to do? But I'm going to cook.
Okay. So the point is, in the big picture, he always finds the right guy and trusts the right guy to make the right shot. And let me show you, this was the play of the night. This came late in the first quarter. This is vintage Heat basketball. This is who they are right now, off a miss by Jaylen Brown. He missed at the rim. You'll see this. And then what's he going to do? He's going to stay down and yell at the ref and complain, because they whine and whine. That pass is a little long for Caleb, but he gets it to Jimmy Butler, who turns and almost like is on the same wavelength with Strus.
Right.
That's a beautiful basketball play. The trailer is Strus, and guess who was supposed to be guarding Strus? Jaylen Brown, who's still down on the floor.
It happens every skip. We see that 2 or 3 times a night. A guy goes to the lane. He fakes his foul. He stays on the ground, and then somebody hits man. Skip, I knew they were in trouble when I see all of a sudden the Heat coming down on 3-on-1, and they pulling up from 3. Ain't nobody going to the rim. They running to the 3-point line. Gabe Vincent shooting the 3 and watching it.
Yep.
And then Jimmy Butler hit Al Horford with his own move.
He did.
You would hit that?
That's his signature rub-it-in move.
Yeah.
You guys need a timeout? Oh, yeah, you better call a timeout. He did it off of Gabe Vincent.
Yes,
He didn't do it off his own 3.
Yes.
Okay, and what happened Friday night? The series, to me, completely turned when Grant Williams, of all people, who'd been lost on the bench for the Celtics, decides he's getting a little run, so he's getting full of himself again, and he decides after he makes a bucket, he's coming up the court.
He hit a 3.
Yeah, he gets in Jimmy Butler's ear and starts telling him about it. Shannon, you can't. Not that guy. You cannot poke that bear, because that bear is a grizzly bear who will eat you alive. You can't run and you can't hide from that grizzly bear who is Jimmy Butler.
You know, I did something good. I mean, you got a good grade on your report card. You run home and show, hey, look here, mama, look what I got.
Look what I did.
I hit a 3.
Yeah.
I got to let you know. Hey.
What do you think, Jimmy? you just can't. And Jimmy went off on him.
He went crazy.
He just went crazy. And he's telling him about it and telling him about it. And even last night, he had a shot late in the first half where Grant Williams bumped him, and it was kind of a quasi-foul, but he got the foul call, and Jimmy goes down and is just pointing at him. That's on you. And Friday night was on you. I think this is the play, Jimmy Butler. This is when they're just front running at the end of the half. Yep, he got a bump, and he was moving, and it was good, and he's pointing. It's on you. Okay, so what we're seeing now is the Miami Heat, who have one of the stronger cultures in all of basketball, maybe the strongest.
Right.
They have an extremely good head coach who the players respect, and more important, they love it.
You ain't got no choice, Skip.
Yeah.
It's not like you can run to the general manager because Eric Spoelstra has the 100% backing of Pat Riley. As LeBron and them found out the first year there. He's like, I don't know what y'all coming to me for. He gonna be y'all coach. I'm not coming down there. So what are you going to do? I want out. Okay. And we're going to get you out when we're ready to get you. Players don't run anything in Miami.
Yep.
Pat Riley, Mickey Harrison, the owner, has given Pat Riley carte blanche control.
That is true. And it hit me last night, to your point. I was thinking about my Dallas Cowboys and just the flip of this because they all run to Jerry.
Yes.
Because nobody fears Jerry because he
would be a better friend.
Granddaddy,
Yeah.
you know, right? He loves everybody.
Yep.
I got you.
Right.
I got you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And Mike McCarthy is the opposite of Eric Spoelstra because I don't think anybody in the locker room truly respects him. They don't fear him. I'm not sure they fear Spoelstra, but they fear that guy upstairs. And they know that it starts up there.
Well, I think the thing is with Spo is that Spo is unwilling to back down. He got Jimmy Butler respect. He's like, I'll fight you right here, Jimmy Butler.
He did.
And then UD stepped in. You know, UD. He's looking for a good Wallace session.
Yeah.
So now the question is, Skip. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, and you mentioned that culture. Udonis Haslem has been the godfather of that, the protector of that culture.
He's still there, and he's still dressed.
But he says, I'm retiring after this year.
He did.
Who feels that role for them?
Well, right now, that's not a problem. But it will be.
It will be.
It will be.
But but the thing is, Skip, is that it seems to me that these guys sincerely love playing for each other. Jimmy's going to get as many shots as he needs or he wants. And then everybody else fills in. Sometimes you might get 10 shots. Sometimes you might get 5 shots. But the one guy that's going to get as many shots as he needs is Jimmy.
Yeah.
And they've accepting of that. Skip, you don't hear anybody talking about minutes. Man, such and such was complaining about minutes. Such and such was playing time and this and that. You don't hear that. You never hear that, or I haven't heard that coming out of Miami.
Nope. What is Jimmy Butler not? He's not a three-point shooter.
No.
So what a beautiful fit this is. You got a bunch of snipers surrounded by a guy that the Celtics can't keep out of the kitchen.
Correct.
Okay? So that's why it fits perfectly. They are maxing out who they are.
Right.
I've never seen anything quite like it because they are playing the beautiful game of basketball at the highest level as far as making the right pass to the right shooter, making the shot.
Right.
And if the ball is loose, I like their chances of getting the loose ball.
Yes.
If there's a charge to be taken, I like their
Kyle
chances.
Lowry will take Kyle, Bam.
Yeah.
All them guys will step in there. They will sacrifice their body for the betterment of the team.
Okay, they're little big things. They add up to this run that they're on because they destroyed Milwaukee and they are in the midst of destroying Boston.
Skip, you know what? I think the thing that works so best for them, most of their guys were what? Undrafted free agents or low-round draft picks. Jimmy Butler was the last pick in the first round. He was never viewed as a superstar, so he didn't have that silver. You look at all these guys, the Vincents, the Struce, all these guys. Skip.
Caleb Martin, undrafted.
So now, Skip, they're like, man, I got to do whatever it takes to stay in this league.
Yep, but they've made the point on the telecast that they were all made to feel like they belonged from moment one because Pat Riley had said, you can play for us.
Right. Yeah, but undrafted, so they got a chance. So, hold on, Pat Riley, the coach of Magic and Kareem, he won here, won a championship here.
Well, LeBron and D-Wade,
He's like, hold on. He came, Skip, there's a difference between being drafted and you have a choice. Because if you get drafted, Skip, I ain't got no choice but to go there.
Yeah.
But as an undrafted free agent, you get to pick and choose wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
And Pat Riley says, I want you. I want you. I want you.
And they're playing just like that.
Yes.
Okay, so as yet, I'm not a big Joe Mazzulla fan. He's been at war with the Boston media from game one this year, and it's not smart. If you're unproven and you're the head coach of the Boston Celtics, you have to figure out a way to navigate the media.
Yes, yes.
It's just somehow. You just have to figure out how to get through it. So last night he chose, and I'm figuring somebody might have advised him, fall on your sword. And so he goes in after the game, and every answer is, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. But you could just tell watching him, it was defiant and it was sarcastic because he's just saying, I'm going to take the ball. I'm going to put the ball back in your court. You know, it's my fault, it's my fault, it's my fault. No, it's my fault. Every answer was some version of, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me. Well, I don't believe it. I don't think the team believes it. I'm not sure they're sold on him as their leader.
But guess what, Skip? Joe Mazzulla, he can't coach. But there's a guy on that team that was first team All-NBA. There's a guy on that team that was second team All-NBA.
And there was a guy on that team who was sixth man of the year.
So I'm just trying to figure out what role did he play in that. Since y'all don't want to give him, he don't get no credit. All he gets is blame.
Okay. And to your point, I'll start with the sixth man of the year last night.
Oh.
Malcolm Brogdon was 0 for 6 and 0 for 3 from 3. Then let's go to second team All-NBA. Jaylen Brown was 6 of 17 and 0 for 7 from 3 with 3 turnovers. And a kid you love, Jayson Tatum, was 6 of 18, 1 of 7 from 3 with also 3 turnovers.
And those two guys got to the free throw line a grand total of one time between the both of them.
One time. It's not right. And I keep telling you, I love Jayson Tatum off the floor. I love he's a great face of this franchise. Yeah. He's a great face upcoming of this league. Mm-hmm. Kobe was a big fan. He was a protege of Kobe's. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure he's that guy. At least he hasn't proven to me he's that guy yet on the floor, because I don't see the leadership from Jayson Tatum. He's kind of Durant-like in that he just likes to hoop. And if he's not hooping at the high level, he's not a Jimmy Butler who's going to lead the team. Mm-hmm. When it's crunch time, when the chips are pushed to the middle,
right,
Jimmy Butler is a much better player, performer than Jayson Tatum is so far in his career. Right. But he's finishing his 7th year, so at some point he's got to step.
He got to step up.
One more step.
I don't know, Skip. Maybe Jaylen Brown is on a slip and slide. I've never seen a guy slip and fall as much as he does.
Okay.
Out there in the middle of the floor, I can see, Skip, sometimes guys' bodies go down and up under the basket. Yeah. It's a little wet spot. Skip, he in the middle of the floor.
And he is eligible to get the big contract, the big max.
They're probably going to probably move him. Ain't no way they're paying both of those guys $620 million, because both guys are going to want the max, deserve the max.
Yeah.
You might as well just go ahead and, hey, I don't see it happening.
Well, here we go.
Game 4 Tuesday night, gentlemen. No team in NBA history has ever rallied back from a 3-0 deficit.
I know a team that might.
Oh, really? Well, let's talk about that team coming up next, Shannon.
Next.
I know you've been waiting for this. How did the Lakers find themselves down 0-3? We got to get Shannon's take. Plus, can they avoid the sweep tonight? That seat has never been hotter, Shannon. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Subscribe here to get the very latest from Skip and Shannon. Plus, go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.